Well, good evening once again. Day 120 of the Biden administration. We have a live picture for you tonight of Times Square in a newly reopened New York City. This is what life looks like now, 423 days after it was all shut down because of the pandemic. The city that became the epicenter of the virus now is the latest symbol of the nation's journey toward hopeful and cautious recovery. Even as we get closer to normal, the political battles over the deadly January 6th attack on our Capitol have intensified. Tonight, the House of Representatives passed a bill to create a bipartisan commission to investigate the riot and insurrection. Despite an effort from House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy and his aides to kill it, the vote was 252 to 175, which means 35 Republicans broke ranks with their own leadership, crossed over to join Democrats to vote yes. Just hours before the vote, fresh reminders of the brutality of that day. It came in the form of new videos released by the FBI, which has also announced the arrest of 6 more suspects. Before today's House vote, House members debated the bill, and Democratic Congressman Tim Ryan of Ohio had clearly had enough. He invoked the sacrifice of the police officers who defended the Capitol in calling out the Republicans.
To the other 90% of our friends on the other side of the aisle, holy cow, incoherence. No idea what you're talking about. Benghazi, you guys chased the former Secretary of State all over the country, spent millions of dollars. We have people scaling the Capitol, hitting the Capitol Police with lead pipes across the head, and we can't get bipartisanship. What else has to happen in this country? Cops. This is a slap in the face to every rank and file cop in the United States. If we're going to take on China, if we're going to rebuild the country, if we're going to reverse climate change, we need 2 political parties in this country that are both living in reality, and you ain't one of them.
Congressman John Katko, the Republican who worked with the Democrats to craft the bill, the commission bill in the first place, pleaded with his colleagues to back the investigation.
How can we ensure that the Capitol, members of Congress, and our staffs are secure from attacks? And how do we ensure that this is a safer place for members of the Capitol Police Force who risk their lives every day to protect us? These are only a few of the many questions that need to be answered. The American people and the Capitol Police deserve those answers.
So having passed the House, this bill now goes over to the Senate, where 10 Republicans are needed to cross the aisle to make it a law. Today, their leader, Mitch McConnell, made his opposition official. NBC News reporting he broke the news to colleagues during a meeting where House Minority Leader McCarthy, the other Trump echo, just happened to be a guest. Later, McConnell went to the Senate floor and made the case against a 1-6 commission.
After careful consideration, I've made the decision to oppose the House Democrats' slanted and unbalanced proposal for another commission to study the events of January the 6th. It's not at all clear what new facts or additional investigation yet another commission could actually lay on top of existing efforts by law enforcement and Congress. The facts have come out, and they'll continue to come out.
It was just a few months back, perhaps you were watching us live when we televised the moment, McConnell gave an impassioned speech from that very same place after Trump's second impeachment acquittal. He sounded then as if he would be on board with a special investigative panel.
January 6th was a disgrace. American citizens attacked their own government. There's no question, none, that President Trump is practically and morally responsible for provoking the events of the day. No question about it.
Meanwhile, Senator John Thune, number 3 Republican in the Senate, noted that his colleagues' reluctance to support this bill may have something to do with the 2022 midterm election.
There are some of our members who I think obviously have an interest in seeing a commission go forward. Others who I think believe it will be counterproductive because of the work that's already been done and that it could be weaponized politically. and drug into next year. Anything that gets us rehashing the 2020 election, I think, is a day lost on being able to draw a contrast between us and the Democrats' very radical left-wing agenda.